getting you fueled up.
I'm ready.
You're fueled up. This is high octane.
Yo, we're in.
So this is a Negroni. It's an Italian cocktail. It's my favorite cocktail. We're drinking that instead of wine. What do you think? Do you
That's
like
a
it?
lot.
It's a lot. It's 3 parts alcohol.
I bet it is.
There's no frou-frou, fluff in that.
No, that's a cough syrupy
Yeah, that's the
road you're going down.
Campari and the sweet vermouth. So it's 1 part Campari,
Okay.
1 part sweet vermouth, 1 part gin.
I've never heard of.
Negroni.
What is
Yeah.
that? What's
It's a-
Negroni?
It's the name of the cocktail.
But okay. Oh, so Negroni is just
It's the
comprised
name of those
3.
3 ingredients.
Wow. Okay.
It's amazing.
It's a lot. It's good.
We'll see how you feel after this. I just took Alpha Brain for the first time.
Oh yeah. So it's a
Is it kicking in?
it's a Negralpha.
Yeah. We'll see how that works with this. Chasing the Alpha Brain with the little Negroni.
Yo, we're in. Yo, and if you didn't notice here,
Boom. Second place.
second place, we're the first loser out of 25 hours. So yeah.
We'll have Joey, one of your teammates,
Yeah.
on in the next episode. We'll talk about your first endurance racing experience. Obviously, that's Joey's background and my background. Welcome to the club.
Right. Yeah. Did you do the 25?
No, I've never done the 25. I've had a few opportunities to do it. It wasn't when I was still racing. It wasn't like huge,
Right.
like it started to become now. And I just really wasn't it was like I wanted to relax.
Right.
It's always around my birthday, and I was like, maybe go on vacation. So I've never done it. Maybe I will someday.
Yeah. Well,
It's not that expensive of a race if you're doing some of the lower classes.
right.
And now that,
There are some teams that make it expensive.
yes, I've
Like
heard
any form of racing.
any form of racing.
They're going to do it.
Ching.
Yeah, man. There's some teams out there. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I see it. It's definitely growing in popularity.
Oh yeah. They've opened up the rules now a little bit more for some of those like prototype LMP3 type cars to come in.
Right.
And I think that's allowed more people to be, or the higher echelon drivers and teams to kind of have some interest in the off season. And it's
Yeah.
fun. It's cool.
It is.
It's an adventure and it's an experience.
The challenge is that this is I'm not going to speak for all of the endurance races that are 25 hours or more, but I'm pretty sure it's the longest you drive at night because of the fact that it's in the winter. The sun goes down at like 4:45. So you're driving in the night.
That might be right.
Yeah, I think that's what I kept hearing. So,
Daytona's probably pretty close, but because it's
That's
further
true.
along in winter, you may be right that might be just like an hour shorter of darkness,
Right.
or whatever.
how's it work in Florida?
That's a great question too. I think.
Doesn't-
No, I'm going to sound really stupid if I
sun
answer
rises
this
in the
wrong.
east, sets in the west. Yeah. So,
Okay, cool.
So it sets in the west. So what does that mean for Florida? Deductive reasoning here.
So our presenting sponsors are minus 273.
Oh yeah, you just went right into it.
Well, I wanted to get off that subject. Minus 273 gloves.
Yeah.
On it, I'm taking the Alpha Brain.
Oh, how do you feel? I feel like
I feel
you're in
amped
it.
up. I'm in it. I'm in the zone.
You're on it.
Okay. And then Molecule
Yeah.
Sports.
And if we want, you can describe these things a little bit too. Like,
no, we talked
go
about
into
that
it.
last episode, man. We can't keep making the entry in
Yo,
a full. It
This
takes
is what they
20
do.
minutes of
This is what they do
infomercials.
in all the podcasts. They're like, "Yo,
We're different.
listen for the first 5 minutes.
We're different.
It's gonna be ads."
Okay. Molecule Sports
Yeah.
cleans everything,
What
makes
do you
everything
got on
smell
that?
great. Well, I just used it for the first time in about 6 years this afternoon on my
Right.
suit because I'm going down to Peru tomorrow morning to race.
Yes, you are. If you listen to the last podcast,
You'd know
that we
I'm
did yesterday,
back in the seat.
you're back in.
So the suit, for as many days that I've done coaching and driving in it,
Yeah.
it probably has not been washed in the last year and a half.
Perfect.
And so
Was what color is it?
black.
Okay.
That's actually the good thing. It's black,
Right.
red, and silver, so it's not too much to get dirty.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it did a great job.
How's it feel? Be back in the seat,
Feels great. Drove last weekend for the first time in 6 or 7 months
out in the desert.
out in Buttonwillow.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And my speed was pretty good. I was
It
pretty
was.
happy.
It
Yeah,
was.
for the few sessions I did, I felt good.
Yeah.
I'm still a little rusty on a few things, but
Like what?
I
what
was
is
on
it?
pace in 4 laps. Let's just say that.
You were in,
I felt good without Alpha Brain. Could you
Without-
imagine if I had
dude.
Alpha Brain?
dude.
See?
Yeah, you need to. I'll send you
I'm
a little
on
care
it.
package.
I
You
do
get a
need a
little
care
care
pack.
package.
I love care packages.
Yeah, we get a care package. So
When
you
I
got
was an
some on it.
Alpine Star athlete, that was my favorite thing to do.
Mm.
Like once a quarter, like I'll put some of my friends on. I'm like, hey, Billy, do you think I could get a care package for Christmas? I see the new spring collection.
That's awesome.
I always get made fun of because that's like all I wore was
The care package.
Oh, Alpine Star, just shorts, jeans,
Oh,
sweatshirt,
wow.
every hat, that's all I wore.
You're a racer.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't give you shit. I'd
Why?
say you're a sponsored Alpine Stars athlete.
That was my I love and I'd love giving care packages now. I love
Really?
I'm in the giving lifestyle.
Yeah,
now.
you did. Yeah, you gave me care package.
You got a care package.
I got a minus 273 care package.
Yeah, you
I
rock,
was in.
You rock it.
Yeah.
We're on the suit.
I know.
Once we have Nomex gloves, we'll get you wearing the gloves.
Definitely.
One day.
One day in the near future.
We'll see.
Yeah, so we got Molecule, we got on it. We got minus 273. Obviously, Alpha Brain.
And by the way, because I had the email today about a potential sponsor. If any of you listeners out there that own businesses that want to sponsor, you can contact us on our Facebook page. Just drop in the DM.
Right. We also have an email, I think, too. We do.
We do. You set that up. I didn't.
I don't think I set it up.
Oh, it's not set up yet.
Oh. How can it be a thing? It's cafemachina@gmail.com.
Oh yeah, we do. That's right. I set that up.
Oh yeah.
We sound like such amateurs right now. Cafemachina@gmail.com.
There you go.
No dot in between or anything like that.
Right.
You can send us an email or drop us a DM.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
Yeah, we're good.
Contact us and we'll respond. And definitely, I think this thing's getting hyped up a little bit. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're moving.
We're moving along. I think the video thing it's seeming like the move.
Oh, it's the move.
It's the move. So hop on board right now while it's cheap.
Wow, it's cheap because it's only gonna go up. So,
Check those prices.
TJ, tell us what we're talking about.
Well,
week.
this is Cafe Machina number 5, right? This is the 5th episode. And as the mentoring Tim Ferriss would say, you got to do 6 episodes to prove to yourself that this thing is worth it. Are we...
Just look a little bit towards the camera. I was trying to get you.
No, we gotta talk to each other.
No, I know, but
guess,
just so they see a little bit more of your face.
Right,
Sorry.
right. I'll look here.
No, you can look, but just tilt a little bit more.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, so we're good. What was I saying?
About Tim Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss, yeah, mentoring.
Yeah.
That's my ADD. Just like that. Just like squirrel. Yeah, he was saying 6 episodes. That's the threshold. That's where you got to prove to yourself that you're in the podcasting game. If you can do 6 and there's some decent feedback, people like it, and you think it's helpful for you, for doing the podcast, go on.
It's definitely helpful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a message this week that was like, whoa, episode 4, food for thought, which was great to hear.
Ooh.
So, obviously it's only 1 or 2 people here and there, but it's moving forward. I like it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
That's exactly.
That's why we're doing this.
Should have just named it that. Food for thought.
Yeah.
With some racing cliche tie-in. I don't know. No, I'm happy with Cafe Machina. So 5th episode, we're gonna, because of the influx of Formula E, and I can't tell you now how many companies I'm talking to that. Well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm talking to them now, but I was in conversations with.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we can't associate ourselves with the motor sports genre right now, as we just launched an electric vehicle program.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of not car manufacturers are jumping into that.
Oh. There's a lot of other manufacturers of different products that are jumping in on that.
Right. To make cars that are electric.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have experience doing that, don't make cars.
I know the brand. What is the brand? I'll probably get in trouble for saying it, so I won't say it.
Me too.
There is a big brand of electronics that makes things like fans and vacuums.
Are we thinking of the same thing?
That might be making an electric car, and I know for a fact.
Yeah. Were they at one point in racing?
Oh, that's a good question. Does it start with an H?
What are you?
Oh, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Hey, what are you talking about there, guy?
Yo, H. I think I could.
Are you talking about Hoover?
No.
Oh, who are you talking about?
Well, you just spilled the beans.
Well, it's not Hoover. That's not who I was talking about.
Oh.
But who are you talking
No,
about?
I can't say.
Oh, you can't say. Oh, because you actually had the conversation with them.
Yeah, and they can go in different areas. They can go on the asthma side. They can support that.
Okay,
They can't
so
support
there's
racing.
a company. Yes, a company by the same name was in racing, but it's a different company.
Oh, that's all we're gonna say.
Dyson?
No.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's what I've heard. Okay. So, carry on.
Carry on. So, it's going to be I'd like to talk about autonomous vehicles.
Let's do it.
Where that thing is going.
I have a lot of opinions on this. So
you do?
I am ready.
I know none of your opinions. I would love to hear more. The thing is, I can go back and forth in about a conversation. Half of a conversation, I've already switched my mind 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Especially with something as new as this.
Yes. So autonomous vehicles is one part of it. But
Yep.
then the broader talk is obviously AI,
Right.
right? And its influence. And yeah, I mean, like just last week, I was thinking about like, okay, people tend to hype up the future. That's like the natural go-to.
I mean, Back to the Future too.
Yes.
Where are we at now?
Right.
Are we even close to that?
No.
No, not even close.
No, we're not time traveling yet. But here's the thing. I mean, we love to hype it up. We love to make this big, like, oh man, the internet is progressing here. But like, I still do the voice to text thing, and like every 4th word, it like completely messes it up, which is like clunky. I mean, I shouldn't be complaining. It can write the words that I talk. That's pretty cool. But it's not perfect, and I then have to type in like what I wanted to say. So it defeats the point.
There's a famous comedian that he tells this joke. I forgot who it is. And he tells this joke about people getting on airplanes and complaining about certain little things about airplanes, right? Their flight. And he's like, you're getting on an airplane that is like transporting 100+ people in the air.
Yes.
And you land in another location, way less time.
It took people a year to do that.
Right. To drive. Look, just chill out. Okay.
Yes,
you
yes.
know, like be grateful for this technology.
For this voice to text.
Right.
Right.
Because look, we had the autocorrect text or not the
Right.
voice to text, but it
Autocorrect.
would guess what text you were about to write based
Yes.
on the first 2 or 3 letters, right?
Right.
And now we have the voice. I use the voice to text all the time, mainly because of we talked about with the addiction of my phone. When I'm driving, I have to
Boom.
respond, and I can't text and drive. 1, because it's illegal, and 2, because it's not safe. So I use voice to text all the time. Love it. But yeah, there's times where I'm like, I'm really concentrated on saying everything clearly and slowly,
Right.
and it still messes it up. And I'm like, I didn't say anything weird.
Yeah.
Like that was a normal word.
It just freaks out.
It freaks out.
Yeah.
But we should be very happy that we have it.
Right. I guess I'm not complaining. I'm here to expose it for what it is. And I
And
think
what is that?
I mean, just the fact that it can make mistakes, but
Okay.
when we fear AI, that's a different conversation, because that's like, okay, this exponential increase in a computer's intelligence to the point where I was listening to someone on Tim Ferriss's show recently. I'll pull up the name, but his point was, if you look at the time span of the Earth and then how long like humans have been just a tiny little, and then you look at that big span of time, and then you look at the little blip of time that we got internet. And then like you can just see a trend here. Everybody, like humans were not built for this technology. They were not built to communicate this quickly, to be in front of this many people at once, like in LA. Like you go from like a tribe mentality to millions of people at your front door, and that's difficult. That's hard to deal with. And so now like things are really starting to ramp up here. We're getting stuff like I mean, there's going to be like an Uber for flights.
Yeah.
You know,
there
I saw,
already is, kind of.
Well, and they had like an iteration for like these little helicopter things that you can.
I mean, yes, you're correct. The advancement of technology that we've had in such a short period of time is insane if you really think about it, right? If you look at what was done from, say, 1900 to, we'll go to 1970, 75, the advancement of technology there, right? With a little bit of the second part of the Industrial Revolution in the United States, the automobile. But if you look at what we've done in just the last 10, 15, 20 years with the internet, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy on how much smaller the world has gotten because of it.
Right.
I mean, this morning I was on a conference call, video call, voice chat with someone in China.
Yeah.
Like, just on my Wi-Fi, or actually on my cellular data. I wasn't even on Wi-Fi. I used my cellular data for that.
Crushed it then.
But could you imagine
you're
being able to do that?
With someone in China right now?
When I was 10 years old, there was no way I would have ever thought I could pick up a cell phone.
Yeah.
Right? I was born in 1985. 1995, I never thought I could pick up a cell phone and video chat with someone all the way across the world.
Yeah.
Seamlessly.
I mean, yeah.
In like 1080. I mean, come on. It's incredible.
Were you using FaceTime?
No, I was using WhatsApp.
Oh, there's a video feature now?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's been WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're just getting better.
It's getting better.
They're just getting better.
So if you go, I see where you're going with this. Let's go, because it's LA Auto Week. Why don't we start?
I had no idea that was.
You didn't know that? Yeah, it started. Let's see, what's today? 6? Got 4 more days.
Yeah, dude, I'm literally even less of a car guy than you are.
I know. So you really don't care.
I
didn't go. I went with. I went to dinner with my friend from Volvo the other night. He works at Volvo, and we talked a little bit about LA Auto Week, and he said it's better than it has been for all you car people out there still looking to go that are in the LA area or Southern California.
Yeah.
And one of the coolest things is the new Project One Mercedes. But he said in general it is what it is. It's a car show.
Project One Mercedes.
Yeah, it's that car that they're not 100% sure they're going to make, but it's like a supercar with a Formula One engine in it. It's crazy. Lewis Hamilton launched it 2 months ago, 2.5, 3 months ago. Look it up. You can look it up right now while I talk.
Yes.
But so let's go straight to the beginning of, not AI, but autonomous vehicles.
Autonomous vehicles, yeah.
I've had some pretty cool conversations with people that are working on that technology, and also just people that are in the car industry, right? In the automotive industry, not the racing industry. And my take is, I don't think it will ever become anything of what people think it will be. So people like the big Uber debate, right? Uber, it's no way Uber is going to last and be profitable in their car division, in their ride sharing, right? Their taxi, right? Without the self-driving cars. That their model is set up for that. They lose money on every car ride. Okay?
Do they?
Yeah. Oh, they're in the red every quarter. So what I see is that the governments are never going to let that happen. Just like you said, there's always chance for a failure.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, there's human error. That can always happen.
Yeah.
Right? But are you really going to take that risk and let just some random computer, and how many fail safes you're going to have? I mean,
do you think that it will take a full transition, not baby steps, but you can't drive anymore? Do you think it's going to take that to implement actual self-driving cars?
So there's 2 ways I look at it. It's that, right? There's going to have to be so much change in infrastructure and so much money invested in infrastructure to be able to do that.
Right.
The other thing I see, and this is the only way I personally see it working, is that let's just say the HOV lane is now a autonomous autopilot lane. Okay? Oh. You can only be in that lane if you're in, maybe not that. You can only use autopilot or autonomous mode of your car in that lane. Right?
Gotcha.
I think that's the only way we'll ever see it in mass use.
You don't think
on the roadway, because I think there's just too much. There's too many variables. Like my friend was saying, if you set it on a lot of the cars now, if you set it on autopilot and you drive and a car cuts in front of you, right? It's gonna slow down and get the distance that it's supposed to get. Okay, if that keeps happening in traffic, it's going to cause, well, one, it's going to cause more traffic.
Yeah.
And two, no one's going to want to deal with that because they're going to get pissed off that they can't accelerate up, right? And then you're turning it on and off.
Yeah.
Well, you'd also don't want it to be turned on and off. You want it to kind of be set, and then that's the way you're driving. You're driving in autopilot. I also think it's never going to work in the cities. It's only going to work on the highways. And one of the reasons, I've seen a few videos online, and maybe we can edit this in.
Yeah,
is
we'll throw it in there.
There's a video online of one of the cars trying to pull out in like San Francisco, and there's tons of opportunities where normal people would pull out because of the algorithm and the thresholds that the car has of distance and speed and everything. It was just sitting there, and it would like kind of like jolt back and forth, like barely, because it could not go out. Yeah, I heard that too, a little static.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't. It was just sitting there. And then people are like honking and everything, and I just don't see how legislature is going to allow that to happen.
So, anyways,
what do you think?
I mean,
what do you see?
What I see is we talked about that one time we were driving, and it was like kind of that lane that diverts off, and all of a sudden you don't have a line,
right? And
there's variables like that all the time in roadways. So it's going to take like dumbing down the system.
Oh, the infrastructure. The investment in the infrastructure alone is going to be crazy.
Right.
We can't even get the infrastructure here now for normal driving.
No. And
I think it's going to have to be privately funded too. I don't think public money is going to go to it. I just don't see it happening.
Right. Now, my point was when you're talking about how people are switching it on and off and like, what are they going to do like on the roadways when if a car cuts them off and then it starts checking up. Now, if everyone is driving an autonomous vehicle, then all of a sudden that doesn't matter, right? See, that's why that's why I feel it takes a full conversion to make it successful.
I agree with you. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, because the problem is how many people of the population still have like beaters?
Well,
which is nothing wrong with that. I love that.
You're right? So now you have to look at the average. We'll say it's 10 years, right? Maybe the car lifespan of someone has, right? 10 years. I know my parents had cars for 10 years. My friends had 10-year-old cars, and then they get a new car. So we'll say it's at least 10, 15 years if we started now before any of that can happen. I think as a culture, as humans, we're going to have trouble letting go of that control and just riding passenger to a computer. And I understand the argument of, well, when you fly on an airplane, that's pretty much what it is. When you ride a train, that's pretty much what it is. You're still going to be in the car in the driver's seat. I just don't see it happening like you say, where it's just going to be like, okay, this roadway is only autonomous. And how do you govern that?
Right.
How do you govern that someone isn't just driving on the road? Like in LA, like can
you imagine the
clean air sticker that you have? I can print a clean air sticker and put it on my Jetta. I don't think a cop's going to pull me over. I'm going to start using the HOV lane.
No, he's going to pull you over when you're like passing people left and right. Like, yo, Teslas don't do that. They don't do that. Yo, it's like, what are you going to have like a sport mode on autonomous vehicles where it's like, this is like heavy passing. Like I plan on speeding.
I bet there will be.
You think?
Oh yeah.
The thing is, I've signed an NDA so that I can't talk about this. But
yo, put your phone on vibrate, bro.
That's you.
No, it's not me.
Oh my God, it's me. I never have my volume.
Jeez. Wow, amateur. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, everyone.
Look at that.
Oh, this is just something.
Came through the speaker.
Anyways, I've signed an NDA, so I can't say who it is.
Right.
But I know that I've been at driving schools where we've coached companies that are working on certain projects. They take the engineers take so they're taking this like racing school and figuring out how a person would drive a car so that they can emulate that.
I have no doubt. No doubt.
Or at least I've heard that. I haven't coached them firsthand, but I've heard this is going on.
Okay. I have no doubt the technology will get there. I have no doubt in that. I have doubt in that legislation will never allow it to happen. And I just don't think us as humans, as much as we think it's cool, I don't think we're going to buy into it.
Okay,
completely.
but cool is one thing, but safety.
That's my point, right? Like
if they could make it safe. Here's the thing. Also, when you're talking about the mess ups that an autonomous vehicle has, compare it to the amount of mess ups that a human has.
dude, I understand the argument.
And this is what makes it dark, is that the difference between a human making that mistake, which is objective.
Yeah.
Right? It's something where you could have not done that, but you did because you're a human and you suck, you know? Whereas a computer, it's like, that is its best. That's all it knows, and that's what it did. Unless it had a glitch.
I get the argument that it can be safer.
So
I get that argument. I just don't buy into it. I think it's cool. I will use it. I will use autopilot. I'm down, man. When I have to go to Fontana and coach, and I'm driving home in an hour and a half long traffic, and I literally are taking an hour and a half straight on the 10. Like, my whole drive's on the 10. Okay? I'm going to put it in autopilot mode and just chill.
Oh, you bet your freaking bottom dollar that's what you're doing.
Now, I just don't believe that it's going to get to a point where it's going to be this thing where it's like, oh, we're going to, like, the whole lane's going to be autopilot.
Every lane or the whole one lane?
Like I said, I think there's only going to be one lane.
I
don't think the autonomous car thing is going to happen. I think the autopilot thing, it's already legal. You can already use it.
Well, you're living in the past, Chris.
I just don't think the autonomous car thing is going to work. You're not going to be able to sit in the back seat if you want. Or in the passenger seat. There's someone that's always going to have to be fail-safe human in the driver's seat.
See, this is what I think. I agree with you. This is what I've thought. But there's going to be autonomous vehicles where you get into it and it's like this is a business meeting Uber.
I don't think it's going to happen.
And then, this is a gym Uber. You want to get your workout in while you go to the airport?
Look, I understand, like San Francisco, they're already testing it. I get it. Volvo is testing it with Uber. I get it, man.
Wait, is that happening to people? Are people getting tested on? Like, are you ordering an Uber in San Francisco? And you're like, oh no.
No, I think it is.
There's nobody in that car.
No, I think I could be wrong. Maybe we can look this up. But
let's look it up.
I think it could. I think this is happening. I know they're testing it, at least with their own people. But look it up real quick.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if my memory serves me right. I am getting older. I turned 32 on Sunday, dude. 32. And hopefully I'm going to win on my birthday.
32. Huh?
Champagne showers on my birthday.
Yo, is it your birthday's coming up?
Sunday. I'm going to spend my birthday in Peru.
All right. Well, we got to celebrate afterwards.
Oh, we will.
We got to do something.
Oh, we will.
What do we got planned? I guess I should plan that.
Let's see. Monday. Well, I get back on Tuesday. Wednesday. Let's do, you know what? Andrew Jackson Wednesday. We were supposed to do it tonight. Well, next week.
Postpone.
Yeah.
We'll go in. But it's going to be more than an Andrew Jackson Wednesday.
So they know at least, there's a place in Santa Monica called Bodega, which is a coffee and wine bar. That is awesome. And on Wednesday, they have Andrew Jackson Wednesdays. So every bottle of wine that they sell, no matter the price, is $20. What you got? You got an ad. I know you got that much.
That's what I got.
Let's see what you got here. Let's see it.
It was passed by the California State Department of Motor Vehicles. There was a big scuffle about it, and they got it passed. As long as they're being used for mapping.
Right.
So
what is Uber?
They're not picking up people right now.
Okay, so they can't pick up people, but they are testing the technology on the roadways.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're mapping it. So you're driving along, you're probably honking at, this car that's like not moving. You're like, this dick.
Right.
I'm going to be late. I'm going to miss this light because it's left turn yield. I'm going to shit on this dude when I see his face.
I already have that problem with Uber.
Now you don't see his face.
People in the cars. Ubers and Lyfts.
And what do? You
are
don't.
the death of driving.
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I know.
You know, LA, it's hard to find parking. Narrow streets, especially in our area, in Brentwood, Westwood area.
Yeah, we should talk about this. The fact how Uber has affected the roadways.
Dude, these guys are driving super slow,
Yep.
looking for their person,
Yep.
not paying attention, and then they speed up as you're trying to pass them, and they almost hit you.
Oh, they're oblivious to the world.
Incredible.
No, I mean, and the thing is,
Way worse than taxis.
they hand these things out. You can be an Uber driver if you have your license and you have a car that's less than 10 years old.
So I stopped using Uber for the most part.
Oh, you
unless I
switched over.
absolutely have to. I use Lyft. Because I've
Really?
had so many bad experiences with Uber drivers lately. Either trying to rip me off.
Really? How do they rip you off?
So they have this new algorithm where it's like, it's a set price, right? But it's still based on time and distance.
Okay.
So what they'll do is if they figure out that you're not a local, they'll
They'll
go
take a
a
long
longer
way.
route. But I always check GPS beforehand just so I know about where we're going. And I've caught them doing that. I had an Uber driver that I canceled on and started the trip somehow.
He's like, oh, I picked him up.
Yeah,
going.
drove around, charged me $25,
What?
which was about what my trip was supposed to be, right? Well, I got my money back. But yeah, Lyft, I've never had a problem. Way nicer people. Uber, you get these people that like want to talk, like you have your headphones in, and you're like kind of just doing your own thing or working,
Right.
and they want to tell you their life story.
Yeah, man.
And you're like,
They're up and coming. They're an artist.
or how their life sucks.
Yeah, well, I don't get those.
Oh, I get this. I travel more than you, though.
I doubt that.
I do. I travel way more than you.
Do you?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Okay. After this, we'll
Anyways.
put down the trips this year. How many
You
miles
probably
you
you
got?
probably do travel more.
I've done over 100,000 miles this year.
I don't know what I've done.
Flights.
Okay, I don't think I've done
What
that.
status are you, bro?
Bro.
Are you platinum?
Status.
Are you platinum?
No.
You're not platinum?
When I was in Europe, I was platinum. That was a good time in my life.
I'm platinum.
Are you platinum?
I got upgraded on my way to Peru. Ching.
Did you just get the email?
Yeah, I got the email this afternoon.
A little spark of
It's the
happiness.
best. I love it. I'm so happy.
Better than like a lot of the other people.
So yeah, that's my take on autonomous. That's my take on.
Well, so this
self-driving
brings us
cars.
into, I mean, there's the trolley problem. We were talking about how it
Yeah.
gets dark,
Yes.
right?
Let's hear it.
So,
I don't know about this, so you're going to educate me right now.
right. So the trolley problem, if you haven't heard what the trolley problem is, it's a thought experiment that, for the most part, it only applied to like social psychology. You know, when thinking about this, how the human mind has been able to adapt to certain moral stances that we have. So basically, the trolley problem as it goes is you have a runaway trolley kind of going down the tracks, and there's a group of 5 workers ahead, and the trolley's going to just crush these people. They're dead. They're dead. They're super dead. So, right. So it's going to kill them. Now, you happen to be standing by a lever. And if you pull that lever, it's going to switch tracks. And it's now only going to kill, there's only one worker on that track. And so you kill that, effectively, you would kill that guy. But you save 5 other people by doing so, right? And so this is a wash of 4 people, right? If you get into the math, it's a wash of 4. So it's great. You save four lives.
You're getting really dark.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you'd have to evaluate, how they're living their life. I don't know if you have that amount of time.
I feel like we've talked, maybe it wasn't you. I feel like we've talked about this before.
It wasn't me.
I've talked about this with someone else. It wasn't called that, but it was like the same theme, right?
Okay.
Of decision making.
Right.
Go
There
along.
are some of these thought experiments out there.
Go along.
So, so you get into it, and I ask you, Chris, do you pull the lever?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Do you save?
I'm going to get judged by our 100 viewers.
Yeah, well, we can edit it. We can change it. This is live, so we can't do that.
Right.
But yeah, it's the thing is, there's no right answer. But 9 out of 10 people are going to answer it in one way, and 1 out of 10 are going to.
Right. Yeah. So, well, first and foremost, I'm saving my life.
Right, you're fine.
So
You're not on the tracks.
Oh, I'm not on the. I can just pull the lever.
Yeah, you're an onlooker. Should have made that clear. So you're an onlooker. You can see this happening. That's why you can see like these 5 workers. Listen, there's a trolley headed down straight, right? And
I have zero chance of also yelling at the guy.
No, you can't do that.
Why not?
Because
I'm like in a building.
Yes.
That like have control.
And it's like last minute here. This is
minute.
like, yeah.
I can save 4 people or I can save 1.
And yeah, but like if you pull that lever, here's the thing. More emotional people would think about that one person like, oh, maybe he had like 2 daughters.
Can I plead the 5th?
No, you can't plead the 5th.
Well, essentially I'm going to plead
answer.
the 5th because I probably wouldn't pull the lever.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't want to play the hand. I wouldn't want to play the hand of God.
See, that's the thing. I think I'm on that 1 out of 10 too.
I don't think I'd pull the lever.
See, 9 out of 10 people pull the lever, save 5, and they're going to kill that one guy, right? Because like morally, you're just saving more lives by doing so.
I get it.
My thing is like I'd question. Hopefully, what I think in that split second, I would like question, like, yo, if this was fate and those people were supposed to die, maybe they're bank robbers. I don't know. Like this seems pretty treacherous situation to be in.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how karma works, but this seems like it's revenge here. I don't know.
That's really dark. I wasn't going that dark. I just didn't want to play the hand of God.
Right. But that's the thing. That's what I'm getting at is I don't want to be God here. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Right.
But by me pulling the lever, you know, God might be like, dude, I've been working on that. I've been putting this together. I got them that job. I don't know. So,
okay.
But we're on the 1 out of 10 there. That's the 10%.
Wow.
The most part, people
pull the lever. I can see that.
Pull the lever.
I mean,
seriously, we're on the like side of.
So here's an interesting thought. So, you know, they always talk about you really don't know until you're in the moment of how you would make a decision, right? Mm-hmm. You really don't know until you're in the moment.
Right. I'd probably pull the lever.
And you don't know if you would do the exact same every single time. Maybe there's a time where something else is affecting you in your life that's making you more emotional.
Maybe your butt itches or something.
And you
pull it.
And you make another. Jeez. Well, I got to itch my butt instead of
I didn't
pulling
make
the
that
lever.
decision.
Sorry, didn't have time for your life. Jeez, TJ, come on,
4
man.
lives you could have saved. You had an itchy butt.
But there is a lot of science. I'm looking at your psychology book over here.
Love it.
But there is a lot of science to how things are going on in your life in the day, in that moment, how you make your decisions that may not be the normal decision you make.
Right.
So that would be pretty interesting to see how things would affect your decision making in that moment.
I'm sure that
even if you lean one way or the other, right? Even if you trend towards not pulling the lever, if you have an empathetic moment where you're like, I'm pulling the lever.
Right. Or even like, maybe it depends on what they're wearing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
When you look at the psychology, like there's the Whole Foods study about like how they lay out their store and why you walk straight into, first it's flowers. Flowers are always outside. First presented
I've
at
never
you.
heard this.
Oh, dude, look it up.
No, you tell me.
Colors, why you go straight into the produce section? Because of the smell, the colors.
Well, because
the bright
I can't
colors,
go anywhere else.
Why certain fruits are first. The first fruits you see, and not vegetables. Certain vegetables are not the first you see. Yeah.
They're not as pleasing.
Because it sparks, it just sparks, one certain color spark kind of your, like, ooh, like you get excited, right?
Right.
So normally you don't see like red peppers or something red. It's usually green, right? Avocados, asparagus. Dude, I'm serious. Look, avocados, asparagus are always at the front. Oranges, always at the front.
Oranges.
Yes. Those are literally
cuties.
Cuties, just regular oranges. Those are normally when you first walk into the produce section.
Boom.
That's what you see. That's not at just Whole Foods. You see that at a lot of Trader Joe's and other grocery stores. Now, you go to the big ones like Ralph's where there's like multiple entries. Well, there are Whole Foods too, but the main entrance from the parking lot is normally straight into the produce section. And why there's ice and why everything seems cold and fresh, even when it doesn't need it. Because of the psychology of it being cold, it's fresher.
Even though this was taken
even though the
from
fruit,
the farm.
Right.
Like we coddled this thing. It just came out of the cow.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh my God, we just got it in time for you.
It's crazy when you think about, and we've talked in previous episodes about the psychology of racing.
Yeah.
Not that we're experts on it, but we just have both experience in it, right? That the effects that this littlest things have on your psyche is incredible. It's incredible.
Yes. And
in all facets of life.
Right. And like the produce, so they're trying to instill not only like a fresh thing, like I would imagine that there's some, like, we don't know yet, like, as so far in the science, we don't know how we interact with plants.
Right.
But we know there's an interaction.
Yeah.
We know that like, it's the difference between you staying inside, making business calls, marketing decks, send out proposals. You can tell what I've been doing for the past 10 days. Or you go on a hike and you're in nature and you're like...
How vitamin D affects you.
Yeah.
From the sunlight.
Vitamin D and just even like soil.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the primal diet, like it encouraged you to like have your socks off and walk around in soil, like in dirt, because you have this interaction with the natural terrain of Earth. And so if you go into a grocery store, they're trying to kick in that produce section, little like, yo, I need these carrots. We've been harvesting them for the past 9 months. It's time. It's time.
It's interesting.
You're going back to the primal genetics.
I know.
That's really cool.
It is. So autonomous cars. Have you seen any of the Formula E?
Wait.
The what do they call it? The robo race or whatever. Have you seen any of those
I haven't
races?
actually seen it.
Have you heard of? You've heard about it.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Is it?
But I wanted to move to Formula E.
Why are they doing that for robo race?
Dude, look, Formula E.
Are they so stupid?
No. Formula E is all about developing technology. It is not about racing. It's about developing technology. Dude, the people behind Formula E are marketing geniuses. Whether or not they'll get the type of viewership they want.
But they're getting a lot of people to leave different series to race Formula E.
Exactly. Because that's the thing I've always had the argument about Formula One is like, I get they're developing technology.
Yeah.
But this is even more of a reason why Formula One doesn't need to be so much about developing technology anymore, is you have Formula E. Like, for that technology of the car manufacturers that are moving towards autonomous cars, to electric vehicles, right? Like Volvo saying, in 2020 or 2021, all their cars are going to be fully electric. That is a perfect place. Like Jaguar, right? They're now doing a sports car version of Formula E. Oh, you didn't hear? See, you just don't. You are in your own little racing world.
I've been trying.
You're in your own. You're so just target fixated on your own thing. You're not paying attention to the rest of the racing world.
I know.
What if there was an opportunity for you to get paid to race in one of those Jaguar series?
I wouldn't get paid to race then.
You don't know that.
The thing is, I scanned for stuff. I thought I did.
Well, you don't know about this. So, but what is your take on Formula E? Do you think it's going to actually become a real form of racing? Like real? Like a competitor to NASCAR, Formula One, WEC, IMSA? Do you think?
I think that...
In other forms, like the Jaguar sedan series.
I mean, do you think that a lot of the really good drivers that can no longer get like a seat in Formula One are just diving into it because the money's there?
Okay, well, I do know
because
for a fact...
I would say that like there's a lot of really good drivers in it. So
it's incredible.
They must be going somewhere with that. Well, but it could be manufacturer money.
It is manufacturer money. One, it is money from big businesses.
Which is... That is a tip from Cafe Machina. Follow manufacturer money. Anyways.
Oh, dude, Patrick Long did this interview for the Machismo 12-hour, the like rental cart race at Cal Speed. Yeah. He does it every year. And he was talking, he's like, this isn't me being like, what's the best word for it? Not being like not outspoken, but he's like, I just go where Porsche tells me to go. Like, that's the best way to keep a job. I may not want to race that, but they pay my bill, and I race for a factory, make a very good living doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
For one of the biggest, if not the biggest car racing manufacturer in the world, if we're going to be honest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe Porsche and Ferrari are the two biggest, right? Or most prestigious.
Right.
Right? And I'm the only American. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm going to go where they tell me to go.
Right.
No questions asked. Right?
Yeah.
But it was just funny for him to be like, it's fact, best way to keep your job, shut the fuck up and drive.
Did this come up in Machismo or something? Or?
He just did an interview with like their social media.
Yeah.
And
they
in between stints. No, it's at Cal Speed.
Right.
We'll have Team Cafe Machina next year.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna do
Guaranteed.
that. Guaranteed.
And we'll do a live
12-hour race?
Yeah, dude, it's dope. We'll do a live show and we'll time it to where it's like in between stints.
Oh, great.
So we can get someone straight before they get in and right after they got out of the cart. Amazing. Like right in that hour pit stop in between.
The magic moment.
Yeah. So hold us to that, guys.
Yeah.
When it comes this time next year.
There's no way I'm going to remember that.
You're like, we thought we were getting Team Cafe Machina.
Yeah, like a full live show at Cal Speed.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
What is it? Machismo?
500?
Is that what?
12 hour.
12 hours?
Yeah. It goes in the dark. Like you race at night. It's pretty sweet.
You do. Do you get little flashlights as
I don't know.
Headlights?
I've never done it. I've only seen it. I've gone to it once.
That's another thing about Thunder Hills. It's not lighted at all.
Oh, it's
like there is
pitch
one.
Black.
No. There's one floodlight in pit lane. That's it.
It's pitch black.
It completely.
So,
anyways,
and I know for Formula E, like the series, because they were just talking about when I was at the point when I was like, ooh, maybe I do want to continue to race and be super stressed out all the time. And I contacted them because I had a partner that was really interested in it.
Yeah.
And they were very interested in the partner, not so interested in me driving. Which at first I was
crazy.
like, I'm okay. I'm bringing like pretty big company that's interested. They ended up not being a part yet. I think they will be in due time. I think it's inevitable for
Formula
them.
E. They just need to drive.
But it was they from the beginning wanted top tier ex Formula One, WEC, DTM,
the best.
factory back driver. I sound like I was from Wisconsin or somewhere.
You just switched over to Road America racing.
It's from my years of summers in Wisconsin with Franklin Motorsports, Team Merlin, Jamie Saraki, shout out.
Seedkins.
So, I mean, that's what it was. And I think it was a very smart move by them. Very smart. I don't blame them. Dude, it's so smart.
Yeah. Because they
have so much for how, actually the racing isn't that boring.
Yeah, it
racing wise, right? The speed and the noise and the watching it. I've been to one race. It's like a little like okay, cool.
Right.
But the racing itself, like on video, is pretty cool. It's great racing. A lot of action. People wrecking each.
Right.
Oh, dude.
Right.
There's a lot drama behind it, like Buemi going off. Dude.
Yeah. Do you think
it was freaking awesome?
Are they they got to be hyping that up?
Oh,
they got to be
sure.
telling them.
Oh,
this is like a reality TV show for racing.
Kind of. I
think
like
it is
that.
because I was watching the Formula E highlights of like the year of like all the like top 10 angriest moments or something, and like it pretty much 8 of them is Sebastian Buemi.
just going off.
Just, like hands ablazing. He's mad about something. And I was like, there's no way that this is like real. He's not mad. He's not that mad.
I think he was.
You think he's that?
I think it was legit.
He's just a mad man.
I think what they've said is you be you. We're not going to penalize you for you being you.
Oh.
It's not like Formula One where it's like, oh, if you raise your voice or you know make a mockery of the sport and we don't feel like it's kosher,
you're out.
Not you're out, but just like we're gonna have a little talking to,
right?
A little slap on the wrist,
right.
You know, but I think it's a little bit like NASCAR too, right? Like NASCAR, they literally have said like, we'll turn a blind eye to some things, right?
We'll throw competition yellows.
And they've shown that by some of the things that have happened where they're like, oh, here's like a $5,000 fine. $5,000 when you're making a few $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Not that all NASCAR drivers are making millions of dollars, but we've talked about this, the starting park. Like,
they're making like
parks. $400,000 a year start parking.
Yeah, they're starting parks.
They're making almost $500,000 a year.
Are they? I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm in the wrong business.
Oh, boy. Look at that. The wife sent me the note already. 15 minutes.
Dun, dun.
Putting the wife on blast right there.
Talk down.
So
let's chop it out.
Okay. We have a weird like edit segment.
No, this is live though, so I don't know who's gonna do that.
No, I don't blame her. She's pregnant. I leave for Peru tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't even be here.
We had to get this in.
We did, but there's lenience here. But
There's leniency. So,
we did it. We knocked it out. Now,
So do you feel like Formula E is going to become a thing or no?
as a racing series, I don't know. NASCAR did. So,
But do you think like obviously the speed, the battery life, that's going to get to where it needs to be. No,
right, because it's
no
not there
doubt.
now.
But no doubt it's going to get there. I have
Right.
no doubt it's going to. The technology is going to get there, dude.
Yeah.
We put people on the moon. We're going to make batteries
Right.
last, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and they're going to be able to go full tilt boogie.
See, the thing is,
I think it's going to happen.
The thing is, though, you live in 2017. People are going to argue, we didn't go to the moon.
There are.
No, we didn't. We didn't go.
No.
No, we didn't. We didn't make it.
There's no wind. The flag would not be waving.
Yo, it's flat Earth, baby.
Oh.
The heavens are circling us.
Are you flat?
No, oh
Have
my
you seen-
God. How could we be friends?
I agree. We definitely would not be friends. Have you seen the what is it? There was like some meme that was going around Facebook for a while, and they were like, there should be a TV show that flat earthists
Proving it.
they get paid to travel the world to try to find the edge of Earth. I would watch it.
For sure.
Especially some of the celebrities that
Dude,
are
it'd be
like
like a
flat
soap opera.
earthists. Like some of the athletes that are like that have come out and been like, oh, yeah.
Who is it? Harden or something?
Yeah. No. Ooh.
It was. I think it was.
Was it Harden?
I'm.
I don't want to. I thought it was Kyrie Irving.
Oh, maybe it was.
I don't want to call out.
I mean,
We may, if we
Why?
get big enough, we might get them on one day. They might be like, nah, man, I watched one of your previous episodes.
Yeah,
You
well,
called
like-
me a flat earthist. I'm like, well, you are.
yeah,
You
like
made fun of me.
you had intentions of thinking the world is flat. Like what
I
do you want me
saw one of my favorite shows is Hard Knocks. When they did the one with
Oh.
LA Rams, I forgot who it was. One of the guys did not believe dinosaurs existed. Like flat out was like, there was no dinosaurs never existed.
to- Okay,
That's
it's
a thing
It's
made
Kyrie Irving.
It's Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
I knew I was right.
Yeah. Okay, I got that wrong. Sorry, James.
Yeah,
it
come on,
Harding?
man. Don't insult the beard.
Is it Harding or Harden?
Harden.
Harden. That's what I said
Don't
the first
insult the
time.
beard.
You know, what are you going to do? I didn't insult him. I made a mistake. So, he was an NBA player.
Oh, so here's a good
I
question
got
for
the
you.
right sport.
We'll end the show.
Well, no. We hold on. What's your question?
No, get your point across, and I'll finish the show with my last question.
You're going to remember it?
Yes.
Write it down or something.
No,
Put it on
I'll
your
remember
phone.
it. I'm not 32 yet.
Okay, well, memory starts slipping away. I don't trust it. Flat Earth. Yeah, that's reality TV show. That's funny. Going back to autonomous vehicles, the trolley problem.
Yeah.
We didn't finish that.
Okay, go
Because
ahead.
I was just saying a random fact
Yeah,
that had
finish it.
no
Okay,
weight to these
finish it.
people. So, here's the thing. Now, most people, if you're normal, would pull the lever.
Yeah.
They'd save 4 people. Now
Right.
you're a crook. You're an asshole. You didn't.
We are.
We are right. I should say that. I forgot. I was with you. So now, new scenario. New scenario.
New scenario.
So you have same situation, no lever now.
Okay.
You're standing over I guess it's like a little bridge that goes over the tracks.
Yeah.
You're like directly over the middle of it.
Okay.
Still gonna hit the trolley, run away. Boom. It's gonna hella kill those 5 people. They're dead.
Mhm.
Consider them gone. Unless now
They're dead.
you're standing there
They're dead.
and there is a fat man, a big fat man. Like he's fat enough to where
He's gonna
he
stop
can
the
stop
train.
a trolley,
Okay.
yet he's not fat enough to the point where you couldn't push him over the edge. So you have the option, and this is a thought experiment. This is real in psychology.
Okay.
You have the option
To do what?
push this man, this fat man,
No.
over the ledge,
No.
and
And stop the trolley.
it'll stop the trolley, guaranteed.
No. Zero chance I do that.
0 chance.
Yeah.
So your opinion is pretty much invalidated anyways because you were a part of the 1 out of 10. But
There's people that were the other 90%.
and they
And
would
switch.
and they would be no for that.
Whoa.
Yes, they'd for sure be no.
Because
9 out of 10 would be
because
no.
they're not removed from it. With the lever, you're removed from it a little
Yes.
bit, right?
Part of it too is evolutionary psychology. So in like a tribe mentality, we go back to
Right.
that, the primal. A cliff was something they dealt with. they dealt with cliffs.
Right.
And they dealt with drop-offs. And
The plank.
they could very well push their friend, or maybe not their friend, their foe, off the ledge. But this was disdain. This was poor behavior. You're killing, and the tribe would revolt against you. So you have so many feelings of this.
Interesting.
And so it's in your genetic code, not like, of all things, do not push that fat man off the ledge. But when you think about it from a mathematical perspective, same amount of people die. You're killing one man to save 4. 5 will survive, but it's a wash of 4.
Yeah.
Now, the reason the trolley problem is now like a thought experiment that people have to think about now. Like it's been around for 20 years, maybe even longer, 30 years. But what makes this interesting is with autonomous vehicles, the coding in the cars is so efficient that it's going to get to the point, it already has, where it can understand, is communicating with the cars around it, right? So let's assume you're wrong, and that the whole United States is autonomous vehicles now. That's how you get around, right?
Yeah.
So all of these autonomous vehicles are going to be driving around people, and some people are going to be super rich, super influential, and some people are not going to be. And these autonomous vehicles now have a real world trolley problem scenario where
tribe mentality.
Where they can communicate with one another. And so they can talk about who's more important, like who has more socioeconomic status.
You're getting super dark.
Yeah. This was in a radio lab that I'm bringing this up.
I like where you're going.
This is from a radio lab. So this is not my original thought.
No.
This came from that. I just wanted to bring it into this because we're in racing, and that is insane.
That's insane. That's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
Yes. And that it will have influence. Now, this is how you know that things have gotten to this point. The director of autonomous vehicles for Mercedes-Benz, because all of a sudden, I think it was like early 2017, people were like going crazy about this in the autonomous world. And they were like asking, like, what's going to happen? Like, how's it going to decide? Like, what's going to be the influence? And the person for Mercedes said, it will have the best interest of the rider in mind. So their cars, Mercedes themselves, will have the best interest of the rider. Now, that statement held a lot of weight with people.
Right.
Because now, all of a sudden, well, if it has to avoid a collision, and in amidst of that, like kill 5 like pedestrians.
Right.
It will do that if it saves the rider.
Right.
This is what people are freaking out about. And so this goes to the argument of why I don't think legislation will ever let it happen. Because of that. I don't think lawmakers will sign off on that. I don't think they will. Well, what they implemented for any autonomous vehicles in the future is they can't communicate with one another.
It's in law already?
Yep.
Oh, that's good to know.
I believe so, yeah.
That's good to know.
Or at least it's getting passed or something
that's
like that.
Really good.
So,
like
yes. So they can't have that communication because pretty much there's no advantage to that except for the fact of saving one person's life over another. Now, what's dark about that is we talked about at the beginning. There's a difference between a human making, kind of this objective decision versus a machine.
Yeah.
Where this is all it knows. This was programmed to do.
Right.
It didn't make a mistake. This is what it did.
It's not going to change. It's going to make this decision because of these parameters and information it's been given.
Right.
Yep.
And now it goes into the whole AI thing and the advancement of it to the point where we're in such a time where things are ramping up really, really quickly. And I mean, you're seeing it evolve as we talk. And I mean, there was a thing with Google. It literally it was communicating with its other AIs.
Yeah.
It made its own language to talk to each other.
What?
Yeah, and Google had to shut it down. They had to shut it down because it was like communicating in a different language.
That, like something they didn't create.
Yes.
What?
More efficient way of communicating.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about this.
Right. So this is where people are like, whoa.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about this. Moving on. Are you done with your point yet?
That was it.
Okay, good. I'm getting uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
in the racing world, though, we have influence over this.
I know.
Just so you know.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
If you're uncomfortable, we got to make some moves here. We got to like talk to some people.
Yeah, robo race can go, you know what?
Robo racing is stupid because, by the way, we don't need this stupid.
For putting that down. I loved that.
It's not
That was a
stupid.
good prop.
You think?
Put it back up. Be proud of your second place. I know Joey is.
I'm proud of the team. Proud of Cork Sport.
You got pole.
We got pole. We were a lot quicker than the others, but man,
It doesn't matter. You got pole.
In endurance racing, that means nothing.
Well,
You can start last.
it means something to me.
last.
It means you were the fastest of the fastest.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate
So, my last thing that I was going to close this up with, because I'm over this whole autonomous thing. You've scared the shit out of me.
that. Gonna go home and
Yeah,
just be in
I'm-
fetal position.
My wife's going to be like, what happened to you?
Changed my life.
TJ just fucked me up, man.
The future, man.
The future, man. So,
That's what people do.
I see your Boston hat. It made me think. I was watching the Ask Gary V show, Gary Vaynerchuk. Do you ever watch any of his
Yes,
stuff?
I do.
Okay. He
Recently.
was talking with Asan Minaj, the comedian.
Hmm.
And he was talking about bandwagon fans,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you're from a city, born and raised in a city, but somehow you're a fan of LeBron James, even though you're from Houston.
Right.
And it's like, why aren't you a
Why?
Houston fan? And if Cleveland's playing Houston, who are you rooting for?
Right.
You're rooting for Houston, your home team, or the away team. Even though you're a Houston fan, who do you choose over what?
They're just confused.
So I see your Boston hat, and I'm just, why are you a Boston fan?
I lived in New Hampshire. Is this your closing point?
Oh, no. Okay, but I'm going to relay this to racing. So, not that you have like a racing team,
Oh, please do this.
but growing up as racing fans, when you latch onto a driver or a team or a car manufacturer, I've never been in the necessarily manufacturers, but like
Right.
what draws you to a driver growing up, right? Like, are you just because they're the winning driver in the moment when you're a young person? Is it something you really like about them, right? I've always found that interesting. I mean, in other
Right.
sports,
What drives it?
what drives it to be like, ooh, like Raikkonen's my guy at an early age? Because when you're a young kid, it's hard to be like, oh, I just really like the way he presents
Hulkenberg.
himself and this and this, and I like
Yeah.
him on. I think now you're going to see more of that
Right.
because of social media. You're gonna be like, oh, I just like his social media,
Yeah.
right? Like that's where Hamilton's killing it. That's actually where Hulkenberg sometimes killed
Yeah.
it. That's where Renault as a Lotus first started it, and then Renault's carrying it on because it's
Yeah.
the same group of people.
Right. Ricardo too.
Ricardo kills social media,
yes.
kills it.
Right.
So, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, but I just wanted to know from your standpoint, what was it that got you into certain drivers? Like I was an Al Unser Jr. fan from the start, like
Really?
IndyCar, and it was for two reasons. One, because he was winning at the time, right, early '90s.
Yeah.
But second, I went to a few IndyCar races when I was a kid. I have a lot of family in Cleveland,
Right.
so I would go to the Cleveland Grand Prix.
Wow.
There were other guys
Really?
winning at that time, like
So
Michael
you're
Andretti.
like the Mid-Ohio guy, Cleveland Grand Prix.
Yeah. So I went to the Cleveland Grand Prix one year and went to get autographs. Mario Andretti, big fan,
Yeah.
legend, right? Dude, boss. Okay.
Right.
Gave me the time of day. Michael Andretti did not give me the time of day.
Uh-oh.
Shunned off. Don't have time for you, kid. Here we go. Al Unser Jr., group of maybe 10 of us outside his RV, had one of his people come outside and say, hey guys, he's in a meeting. He'll be out in about 10, 15 minutes. If you guys are willing to wait, he will be out and sign everything that if you guys are here, still here, he will sign everything that you got.
Wow.
Waited 10, 15 minutes, came out, shook everyone's hand, took photos with us,
Good for
signed
him.
everything. And from that point on, it was like,
He's my guy.
now I know he's had his issues later in life, but from there on out,
I don't
it
even
was
really
like,
know what.
I think it was like substance abuse, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I don't want to be misquoted in that, but
Do you want me to double
no,
check?
I'm pretty sure of that. I just know he had some issues later in life.
Okay.
So after racing,
Maybe concussion stuff.
no, I don't think it was that. So, But from that point, I was like, yo,
Hooked.
that's my dude, right? Like Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin in NASCAR when I was a kid.
Really?
Not necessarily because they were champions. Well, Rusty was a champion. Mark never won a championship.
Hmm.
But there was something that drew both of them. I think just the way they carried themselves, especially with Mark, how like they just both seemed like good guys that like dug deep.
Right.
Who were your guys?
I mean, Michael Schumacher was.
See, I'm the same, but I feel like that was just because
he was so dominant.
I'm not a Ferrari guy. I thought I was earlier, but I know I'm not a Ferrari guy now because I'm not a Vettel fan, and I'm definitely not a Vettel fan anymore after this year.
Why?
Because he is a whiny
He's a head case.
That's the thing. Takes no responsibility for his own actions.
I like Red Bull. When he was at Red Bull, I kind of was like a Vettel fan, and I was starting to question my loyalties to like. Do I just like the winner? Like
I was Alonso. After Schumacher, that kind of transition, like when Alonso started beating Schumacher, and sounds really bad, right? Because I'm like, I was a Schumacher fan.
You're right. Until
and then
Alonso
I bandwagoned onto Alonso.
But it was just somebody that could beat him.
I found respect. I respected that. Right?
Yes,
he was the only guy that could
take it to him. Yeah.
The other person that I've always been a fan of was Mika Hakkinen.
Yeah.
But that was because of his personality. Had nothing to do with race. It was like I loved his personality.
Yeah.
I thought it was genuine. His connection with Michael and the mutual respect between them was pretty awesome. And Mika got out of the sport kind of early too.
Right.
And it would have been interesting to see how his career, what would have happened if he would have stayed in longer.
Right.
And how many championships Michael would have won if he would have, because Mika, I mean, he took 2.
Yeah.
He took 2 away. And so did Alonso,
Right,
so it's those were the 2 guys that really gave Michael.
And Alonso's super highly regarded now too. That's the thing.
I can't wait till next year
when he gets.
I hope that Renault engine.
Yeah.
So I think that chassis is legit.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it is.
Just watching it,
but maybe just because it's underpowered. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good point. That's
it
a
might
great.
Be. I mean,
dude, that's a great point.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
What are they? 50 horsepower down?
That is a great point. Because if they're developing to being 50 horsepower down, they don't know what it's like to have that 50 extra horsepower and what they have to develop. Right. Now, I understand they have amazing engineers.
Yeah, they'll probably...
And they have computers and can figure that. But I think you got...
This is a little something there.
Something right there.
There's a little something right there. I mean, they've probably thought about this. They definitely not... They have not thought about this.
Yeah.
But... The only thing that will prove this is the real world.
Yep.
You can't...
Next year.
Yeah, they don't have an engine right now that will go faster.
March.
But to answer your question, yeah, I don't know what I think it was that I heard stories of Schumacher.
Yeah.
And you hear all those stories about him and Ferrari and like the leadership thing that he had. Right. That quality, I think, is super badass.
Yeah.
I think the way that he was able to build the team around him. A lot of people
say that, right? He built the team around him.
And we're talking about Ferrari.
Yeah. It's like a leader. I mean, you played football. It's like a quarterback.
Right.
There's certain quarterbacks that are leaders and lead their team.
But to go into, let's say, a New England right now,
right
at the Reign, they have Tom Brady.
Yeah. And Belichick.
To come in as a quarterback, like this is what it's like doing.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it is.
It's like going in, when you come into a Ferrari and say, hey, wait, we're going to do it this way. They're like, oh, what? Hold on. Why did we sign you again?
Yeah.
We've been doing this for like 100,000 years. You can
count the rings, bro.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, so to be able to do that is, I think an amazing trait. And I don't know, I think about my racing and just to, have some form of leadership is difficult.
Yeah.
Not that it comes hard, but just that
there are naturals at leadership.
Yes.
And there are people I think that are still good at leadership that have to work on it.
Right.
And did work on it.
Right. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Some of it is just knowing how it should be and how it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Michael Schumacher had a good understanding of what it should be, which is interesting. Yeah. Now, it's funny you asked that because my point was...
You're getting blown up.
No, you're getting blown up.
We're both. Oh, man, I got a missed call. Dude.
Okay, we're
wrap it up. Wrap it up.
It's always over an hour.
Yeah. Carry on. I'll look at it.
Carry on. I can see
Yeah,
it.
we're over an hour.
Hour and 11 minutes.
Okay, come on.
So you talked about like pride in a driver. How do you decide on like what was the influence of why you like the driver?
Yeah.
Right now, I think we're relying on somewhat archaic storyline messages that are handed to us by. Hopefully, it's a great reporter. Hopefully, the story's great. And I know a lot of really good reporters.
Yeah.
I've had one on my podcast. It was awesome. I think he dives into it. I love that. I don't know that every reporter does that.
No, definitely not.
And we know that.
People phone it in.
And they just love talking about, who won?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's the only thing that happened. In racing, we know that's not the story.
Yeah.
Now, my idea, if I were to create a racing series, now, if someone goes out here and takes this, I'm going to be so livid. This is my idea.
Yeah, but you're on record.
I'm on record. It's my
You're on
idea.
record.
So my idea is it's a Formula Car series, not IndyCar. It's not anything like that. And it's set up just so that you have a 2-car team
Okay.
based out of all of the major tracks in the United States.
Okay.
So there's a Sonoma racing team.
Interesting.
There's
I get where you're going. Watkins Glen.
There's a Watkins Glen racing team.
I get it. Road Atlanta.
And maybe it takes us building more tracks
Right.
in like more densely populated
Okay.
areas where you have, like a Road Atlanta team. And like that would be one. That's
Right.
great. And so you build this camaraderie. It's the same thing. It's like Joey, he's been on the show. He loves the San Diego Padres. He grew up in San Diego. He's loyal to them. He hates the Chargers now because they're in LA. It's purely because that represents a part of him.
Right.
So if you like racing, I feel like the problem a little bit with IndyCar right now is that sport grew up
Yeah.
in Indiana.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah. I've always wondered if you could do that, where you could have like a city race, like a city racing team.
Yeah, that's your city.
Yeah, that's our racing team. I've always wondered that. That's interesting. We can expand on that.
We should.
We will.
Because I really think it could be, you could literally take pretty much the way NFL is set up. I mean, it wouldn't be every state, but it'd be a lot of them.
Almost like a mini, not economy, but you'll have like actual business being run out of each.
And the reason I kind of got to that was that it builds right now it's so hard to get sponsors, like even in IndyCar.
Right.
But I mean, think of how like kind of simple it is for a NFL team to get.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah. And so if you can get state legislature behind it.
Don't give away too much.
Okay. That was my idea though.
What's the date today? The 6th? December 6th, 2017. So it's on record.
Right. TJ
Fisher with the idea.
Yeah.
Right.
We can attack that. I would love to expand on it and see where it goes.
Let's talk about it.
Maybe it doesn't have to be Formula cars, but, like a V8 supercar style.
I get it, man. I love it.
That'd be fun.
I'm on board.
That'd be fun. People have camaraderie. That's what it's about. Tribe mentality.
Back to it.
Back to it. Tribe mentality.
Straight to the beginning.
Boom. Wrapped it up. That's it.
Look at that. Episode 5 in the books.
Let's go.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. And subscribe here. Subscribe here. Subscribe here.
That's it. Love you.